Nothing is impossible.
750 or 770, like to, cry and yell and scream, and it's challenging. And you don't just do one take, and you don't just do one camera angle. And he was able to rev it up, and his focus was great, and he was earnest, and like he was as professional as you could be as being such a young kid. Like,
was it a little scary, like the first time you were able to make yourself cry? Because normally people don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised, but just thankful that I was blessed with that gift.
Well, I know you've done a lot of different things in your career
Yeah.
as far as roles are concerned. I don't know if I can remember a single job you've had that had this many variations.
Yeah.
You're a dad, you're a war, there's a cow. Was that an appeal to sort of like, as an actor, I get to do all these different things and a good story at the same time?
Yeah, it was definitely an appeal. For me, I've been fortunate enough, and I'm sure I've probably met some of you guys along the way, to be doing this since I was 21. So when I was 21, I had a different disposition, a different sort of approach, a different mentality on acting, a different mentality on life. For one of the appeals, well, first of all, I have 2 sons, so and that was, being a son to my father was a big thing. So that was the biggest thing, playing like this sort of ideal father. But the twists and turns and the emotion, and also for me, it was kind of like I was getting to play. It was almost like I was getting my first role as an adult, in my opinion. So it was like I'm playing a father, which who's like a real father, not like. I've done some stuff where I'm sort of just disgruntled father. Like, this is a real father who's trying to be the best, and the connection with the son was everything to this character. As to the son, the father means everything. So that stuff, and obviously the war stuff was a challenge, and the weight and playing around with that stuff. And it's just you just treat it like it's a job, and it's the job requirement. You do what you need to do for each job.
Right.
It's not like, oh, I did this, and you write about it or anything like that. It's just I thought it was good because I think you showed the innocent, idealistic relationship with the younger son, and he's not seeing the reality of the potential of somebody going off to war, and then the older son, who was another great actor, David. That's more of like, he sees the writing on the wall, what could potentially be bad, and he's kind of going through his inner turmoil. So I thought it was a good dichotomy, and I thought it was real. I enjoyed working with him, and of course working with Emily. She's a real powerhouse. And I call her a real actress. I would tease her, but she's so cool. Like, she's like, you wouldn't. She's not what you would think in terms of like, she's British, Academy Award nominee, and she does all these serious roles. So she doesn't take herself seriously at all. So yeah, it was just a good fun experience. We really had a good time. And the other things about the film, the production design and the sets. I don't know if when you're watching the movie you could really appreciate the artistic merit that went into that. Those sets were beautiful and so well done. And when we'd be on the set, we'd be like, man, look at this is crazy, And we were in the middle of nowhere, and like, this is like real art, like really. That stuff was fun in the wardrobe. We had fun with like the cowboy outfits and the fantasy stuff that we got to do. Some of it didn't get into the movie. Like, it was all a lot of fun, Especially, I'm sure, for him. More than me, because like you got play time. It's like you're playing, you're shooting these guns and these bad guys. It was it's an interesting movie, and I the movie business is in such an, I call it a crisis place right now, the movie business. To make a movie like this that, I have no predictions on the kind, what a film does and what doesn't do, but this is the kind of film that I think could stand the test of time, because it's going to be timeless. It's a timeless movie, it's a timeless story, and it takes place in a timeless place. So.
remember being a samurai riding on the horse.
I hope you got a picture of that for the wall.
Yeah.
And
Town, Norfolk, California.
Well, that would be a yes.
And not really, but I know how to.
Well, now you have that for the resume.
Yeah.
Have
You
that
don't have to
skill.
lie.
Right. And I don't even know if it made it in the movie, but like going back and forth, and like he would feed me. So like that to me, for me, in between action and cut, as an actor, is still an elation. And doing that with him, who was a little kid, like you're doing it. So it was good.
I was coming to tag along, and eventually the director came out to just take a break from all the auditioning and all the casting, and he saw me and he said, you know, we're gonna do that kid too. And he called me in, even though I wasn't into the acting business. Well, I was into it, but I wasn't called for that audition specifically. And he called me in, and the first time we laughed. Constantly laughed. Second time, we laughed. Third time, we laughed. But when we got to the fourth time, he went for a serious part in the movie, and not to brag, but the people who were casting were blown away.
It's not a brag if it's true.
how did your brother feel about it? How did your brother feel about it?
Well, he was actually very privileged to be my brother, and
Okay, but that might be a brag.
yeah, he got a part in the movie too.
Oh, yes?
He was my double.
Sweet.
Yeah,
What
every
was
time.
what was the
He
reaction of
was
the
a
family?
bully.
Huh?
He was a bully.
No, he wasn't a bully.
Oh, okay.
He was a double. Every time you don't see the
Oh,
front of my face.
yeah.
I have not once do I remember being bullied, so I do not have any memory of me having to stand up to someone who's bullying me. But I know one of those days will come because there's always someone. And I try to stand up for other people as much as I can.
The producers talking about Eduardo Verástegui. Can you share something with us about him?
You know, pack their bags, because making a movie and getting a movie out and getting it seen, it's not easy. So Eduardo was relentless, and I think he is the you know, the front runner and just championing the film, and his belief in the just really positive energy and really supportive, and you know, I saw your scenes, and that was, you know, just really what you want from a good producer.
Don't forget to visit us online on galatv.com. Click like on YouTube page.